We will be discussing about aggregate demand curve and how it is derived using IS and LM curve. Now, aggregate demand curve shows the total demand of a nation for one accounting year, and it is a inverse or a negative sloping line showing the inverse relationship between price level and the income, which is also known as output of a nation. Okay. Now, diagrammatically, the aggregate demand curve looks something like this. See, you will be able to notice the inverse relationship between income and the price levels. Okay, so we will try to derive this curve using the IS and LM curve. Now, before the derivation, we have to have some idea regarding what is real money supply. Now, money supply can be of two types. One is nominal money supply, which is denoted by only M, and the real money supply is denoted by M by P. Here, P implies the inflation rate. This is the money supply after taking into consideration the inflation rate. Okay, so while using the aggregate demand through the ISLM method, we shall use this concept of real money supply. Okay, now we have to understand how this real money supply increases or decreases. Okay, the real money supply, that is the ratio M by P, can increase or decrease due to two reasons. One is if the nominal money supply, that is M, increases keeping price constant. Let us, if we keep the price constant, that is a denominator constant, and if we increase the money supply, the nominal money supply, then obviously this ratio would increase. See, if you consider M to be 100 and P to be 2, okay, then it will be around M by P will be 100 by 2, that is 50. Now, if you increase the money supply, that is the nominal money supply, to 200, keeping price constant, that is 2, your M by P ratio would be 200 by 2, that is 100. See, by keeping a price level constant and only by increasing the money supply, that is a nominal money supply, from 100 to 200, our M by P ratio increases and it reaches to 100. From 50 it increases to 100. So this is one way to increase the nominal money supply. Similarly, it might decrease if the nominal money supply decreases keeping the price constant. Now the second method is if the nominal money supply remains constant, that is if the numerator remains constant and if the price level decreases, say let us take M equals to 100 and price equals to say 2, so M by P would be 50 in the first instance. Then let us take another example, M equal to 100. Here we are keeping the nominal money supply constant, whereas we are decreasing the price level to 1, and M by P ratio would increase to 100. See, again, by reducing price level we can increase the real money supply. So, and vice versa, if you want to decrease the money supply, you just have to increase the price level. Okay, so this is how we tend to increase or decrease the real money supply using the price level or the nominal money supply. Now let us move to the derivation and the movement of LM curve due to this real money supply thing. Okay, so here we have considered a money supply curve which is constant because we are assuming that the real money supply is constant and it is not affected by the rate of interest, and therefore it is represented by a vertical straight line. The vertical straight line implies that it does not changes, the real money supply does not changes with respect to rate of interest. Okay, and we again have this curve which is the money demand curve, and we all know that money demand depends upon income rate and rate of interest. So money income is dependent upon both income as well as rate of interest. Okay, so let us see where these two things intersect. And I would like to mention that this money demand is associated with the income level of Y0. Okay, and the equilibrium point between the money demand and the money supply is at E naught. Okay, and at this E naught the equilibrium rate of interest is R naught. Now if we extend this R naught to the second panel and plot it with the correspondent income level, that was Y naught, we'll get our, so by plotting R naught with Y naught we have got this LM curve. Now let us consider that our money supply, the real money supply, has increased due to a fall in the price level. See, if the price level falls, keeping our nominal money supply constant, then obviously the money supply increases. See, from 52 it went up to 100. So with a decrease in the price level, our money supply, real money supply, increases. So an increase in the real money supply would be shown by this vertical shifting of this curve. Okay, so this will be known as M by, the bar implies that the real nominal money supply has remained constant, whereas the price level P1 or P0 has reduced and it has been renamed as P1. Okay, so the rate of interest has declined now and it is denoted by R1. Okay, we have established that with a fall in the price level, the money supply, the real money supply, increases and it shifts rightwards, and the new equilibrium point now is E1 and the corresponding level of rate of interest is R1. Okay, now if we plot this R1 with its corresponding level of income, that is Y naught, it will be, say, let us extend the rate of interest, say R1 over here, and with the corresponding rate level of income we have got this combination. So our LM curve shifts to the right and it is known as LM1. Okay, so due to fall in the price level, the real money supply increases, it shifts to the right, and the new equilibrium point now is E1. But do remember that the income level has still remained constant. Anyways, the corresponding level of rate of interest with to E1 is R1, and this R1 can be plotted with this corresponding level of income, that is Y naught, in this next panel, and we will get a new combination. And if we if we draw a line corresponding to this point, we will get our new LM curve. Okay, now let us move to the second diagram, and the most important diagram. Basically this diagram you will be asked for, not the previous one. The previous one was just the base. We needed to create some base before proceeding towards this diagram. Okay, so in the previous diagram we have understood that due to fall in the price level, the ratio M by P increases and the LM curve shifts rightwards. Okay, so that thing was derived in the previous discussion. Now come to this diagram. Here we have a positive sloping LM curve which is related with this MP money supply, that is the money supply before the price has fallen. Okay, and we have a negative sloping IS curve. The general equilibrium is established at E naught and the corresponding rate of interest is R naught and the income is Y naught. So this Y naught is related with this price level P. Okay, so now in the next panel we can extend the Y naught from this panel to this panel. Okay, we have extended it and we have plotted it with respect to or we have plotted the Y naught with its correspondent price level, that is P, and we have got the point A. Okay, now let us assume that the price level has declined and it has come down to say P1. Now in the previous discussion we know that if the price level falls keeping the money supply constant, the LM curve shifts rightwards. So due to a fall in the price level, the LM curve shifts rightwards. Okay, the new price is P1. Okay, and here P is greater than P1. Okay, and over here you can give a bar implying that the money supply is constant. The new equilibrium will be E1, the new rate of interest is R1, and the new income level is Y1. Okay, now let us extend Y1 over here, Y1, and this Y1 is related with this Y1 is related with P1, and P1 is less than P, so we will plot P1 somewhere here because it is less than P, so it has to be represented below. Okay, so P1 and Y1 are related to each other, Y0 and P are related to each other. Let us name this combination, give a name to this combination B. And now if we join these two points, then we will get what is known as aggregate demand. See, aggregate demand is given as we know that it is shows the inverse relationship between income level or output level with respect to price level. See, you have a inverse relationship, Y0 is related with a higher price level, whereas if you increase the income level, the price level falls. Okay, so we have derived the aggregate demand curve which shows the inverse relationship between the price and the income or output level. Okay.